The unveiling. In the vast expanse of the cosmos, amidst the swirling galaxies and celestial bodies, there exists a coalition of civilizations known as the Galactic Alliance. For eons, they have observed the myriad of worlds, each with its own unique inhabitants and cultures. But none have captivated their attention quite like Earth. Assembled in the Great Hall of the Galactic Council, representatives from across the cosmos gathered to discuss the latest revelations regarding the enigmatic planet known as Earth. Among them, Counselor Zaltar, a seasoned diplomat from the planet Zoranthia, stood at the podium, his luminescent form projecting an air of authority. "Fellow delegates," Zaltar began, his voice resonating throughout the hall, "we stand on the brink of a discovery that may reshape our understanding of the universe. Earth, a relatively obscure world on the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy, has become the focal point of unprecedented attention." The murmurs of curiosity rippled through the assembly as holographic images of Earth appeared above the council chamber. From towering metropolises to sprawling landscapes, the diversity of Earth's environments was on full display. "But it is not merely Earth's natural beauty that has drawn our interest," Zaltar continued, his gaze sweeping across the attentive audience. "Recent observations have revealed a phenomenon unlike anything we have witnessed before. Earth resembles an arena, with humans as its gladiators." Gasps of astonishment echoed throughout the chamber as Zaltar elaborated on the startling discoveries made by the Alliance's reconnaissance probes. Images of humans engaged in various forms of conflict, from ancient battles to modern warfare, flickered across the holographic displays. "It appears that conflict is ingrained in the very fabric of human society," Zaltar remarked, his tone tinged with both fascination and concern. "Their history is marred by wars, conquests, and struggles for dominance. And yet, despite the ravages of their conflicts, humans have persevered, adapting and evolving with each passing era." As the implications of Earth's tumultuous history sunk in, a sense of urgency permeated the council chamber. The Galactic Alliance, guardians of peace and harmony among the stars, faced a dilemma unlike any they had encountered before. How would they respond to a world where conflict was not merely a possibility, but a defining characteristic? With a solemn nod, Zaltar concluded his presentation, leaving the council to ponder the implications of Earth's revelation. For the Galactic Alliance, the journey had only just begun, and the fate of Earth and its inhabitants hung in the balance. Echoes of the past. In the aftermath of Counselor Zaltar's revelation, a somber atmosphere settled over the Great Hall of the Galactic Council. Delegates from a myriad of worlds exchanged uneasy glances, grappling with the implications of Earth's tumultuous history. Among them, Ambassador Rin of the peaceful planet Serenia rose to address the assembly. "Fellow delegates," Ambassador Rin began, her voice resonating with compassion and wisdom, "the revelations about Earth are indeed troubling, but they also offer us an opportunity for introspection. We must endeavor to understand the root causes of conflict on this distant world and strive to guide its inhabitants toward a path of peace." Her words struck a chord with many in the chamber, prompting nods of agreement from some and thoughtful contemplation from others. For the Galactic Alliance, founded on the principles of cooperation and mutual understanding, the plight of Earth presented a moral imperative. As discussions unfolded, holographic projections of Earth's history materialized above the assembly, showcasing pivotal moments of triumph and tragedy. From ancient battles to modern conflicts, the cyclical nature of human warfare was laid bare for all to see. "It is evident that the inhabitants of Earth have much to learn from our collective wisdom," Ambassador Rin continued, her gaze steady as she addressed her fellow delegates. "We must offer them guidance and support, not as conquerors or judges, but as allies in their journey toward enlightenment." The notion of extending a helping hand to Earth's beleaguered inhabitants sparked a lively debate among the council members. Some argued for intervention, citing the moral imperative to prevent further suffering, while others cautioned against interference, fearing unintended consequences. Amidst the deliberations, Counselor Zaltar rose once more, his luminous form casting a calming aura over the chamber. "We must tread carefully, my esteemed colleagues," he implored, his voice resonating with wisdom born of millennia of diplomacy. The fate of Earth and its inhabitants hangs in the balance, and our actions in the coming days will shape the course of history. With a sense of purpose renewed, the Galactic Council adjourned, their minds abuzz with plans and strategies to aid Earth in its time of need. For the inhabitants of this distant world, unaware of the cosmic forces that now watched over them, the dawn of a new era beckoned, a future fraught with uncertainty, yet brimming with possibility. The outreach. In the wake of the Galactic Council's deliberations, a plan of action began to take shape, a plan that would see the Galactic Alliance extend its hand of friendship to the inhabitants of Earth. Ambassadors and envoys were dispatched to the planet, tasked with establishing channels of communication and offering assistance where needed. Among the first to arrive was Ambassador Vex, a seasoned diplomat from the planet Xandar, renowned for its commitment to diplomacy and peace. Descending from the heavens in a shimmering spacecraft, Ambassador Vex made landfall on Earth's soil, greeted by a mixture of awe and trepidation from the humans gathered to witness the historic event. "Greetings, people of Earth," Ambassador Vex announced, his voice amplified by the ship's communication systems. "I come on behalf of the Galactic Alliance, bearing a message of hope and solidarity. We have observed your struggles and triumphs from afar, and we wish to offer our assistance in your journey toward peace and prosperity." The reaction from the gathered crowd was one of disbelief and skepticism. For centuries, humanity had gazed at the stars with wonder and curiosity, but the notion of extraterrestrial beings reaching out to them seemed like something out of science fiction. As Ambassador Vex began to outline the Alliance's offer of support, representatives from various nations and organizations approached cautiously, their expressions a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. Questions flew thick and fast, ranging from inquiries about the Alliance's motives to concerns about the potential impact of their intervention. With patience and diplomacy, Ambassador Vex addressed each query, emphasizing the Alliance's commitment to non-interference and respect for Earth's sovereignty. He spoke of the wealth of knowledge and technology that the Alliance could share, from advancements in medicine and energy to strategies for conflict resolution and sustainable development. Slowly but surely, the atmosphere began to shift from skepticism to cautious optimism. As the sun set on the horizon, casting a golden glow over the gathering, Ambassador Vex extended an invitation to Earth's leaders to join him aboard his spacecraft, where further discussions could take place in private. And so, under the watchful gaze of the stars, humanity stood at a crossroads, the dawn of a new era beckoning with the promise of cooperation and understanding, forged amidst the vastness of space. Trials of Unity. In the aftermath of the historic gathering aboard Ambassador Vex's spacecraft, the leaders of Earth returned to their nations with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Across the globe, efforts to promote cooperation and understanding gained momentum, as humanity collectively embarked on a journey toward a more peaceful and prosperous future. Yet even as the seeds of unity were sown, the trials that lay ahead would test the resolve of nations and individuals alike. From simmering conflicts fueled by long-standing grievances to the looming specter of environmental degradation and resource scarcity, the challenges facing humanity seemed daunting and insurmountable. In the corridors of power and the halls of diplomacy, discussions continued unabated, as leaders grappled with the complexities of forging consensus and building trust. Diplomatic overtures were made, peace accords negotiated, and joint initiatives launched, each aimed at fostering cooperation and stability in regions plagued by strife and discord. But progress was slow, and setbacks inevitable. Old animosities died hard, and entrenched interests resisted change at every turn. As the months turned into years, the road to peace proved to be long and arduous, marked by moments of hope and despair, triumph and tragedy. Amidst the trials and tribulations, however, glimpses of progress began to emerge. Conflicts that had once seemed intractable were brought to the negotiating table, while nations set aside their differences to confront shared threats such as climate change and pandemics. Slowly but surely, the bonds of unity grew stronger, transcending borders and ideologies. Yet as humanity looked to the stars with hope and aspiration, A new challenge loomed on the horizon, one that would test the very limits of their ingenuity and resilience. For beyond the confines of Earth, in the depths of space, a shadowy menace stirred, its intentions unknown and its power vast. As the leaders of Earth grappled with the trials of unity on their home planet, little did they know that their greatest test lay yet ahead, a test that would determine the fate of not just their world, but the entire galaxy. Echoes of the void. In the vast expanse of space, beyond the reaches of known civilization, a darkness stirred, a malevolent force that had slumbered in the depths of the void for eons. With each passing moment, its influence grew, spreading like a malignant tumor across the fabric of the cosmos. Deep within the heart of a distant nebula, the being known as Malgorth, an ancient entity of unfathomable power, awakened from its eons-long slumber. Its eyes, glowing with an otherworldly light, surveyed the stars with a hunger that transcended mortal comprehension. For Malgorth was no mere creature of flesh and blood, but a being of pure energy and malice, a harbinger of destruction whose very presence sent ripples of dread cascading through the cosmos. From its fortress of shadows, it reached out, probing the void for signs of life to consume. And it was not alone. At its side stood an army of dark warriors, creatures twisted and warped by the corrupting influence of their master. Their armor, black as the void itself, gleamed with an unholy light, their weapons forged in the fires of damnation. Together, they set forth on a path of conquest, their insatiable hunger driving them ever onward. Across the stars, worlds fell beneath their onslaught, their civilizations crushed beneath the weight of unstoppable darkness. Yet, amidst the chaos and despair, a flicker of hope remained, a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. For on Earth, the seeds of unity had been sown, and the bonds of friendship and cooperation forged in the crucible of adversity held strong. As the forces of darkness gathered on the fringes of known space, the leaders of Earth looked to the stars with a newfound determination. For though the road ahead was fraught with peril, they knew that together, united as one, humanity stood a chance against even the greatest of threats. And so, with hearts full of courage and resolve, they prepared to face the darkness that lurked beyond the stars, a battle that would test their strength, their faith, and their very humanity. The gathering storm. As the forces of darkness gathered on the fringes of known space, a sense of foreboding descended upon the galaxy. Rumors spread like wildfire, whispers of an ancient evil that threatened to engulf the cosmos in eternal night. On Earth, the leaders of nations convened once more, their minds weighed down by the gravity of the situation. In the hallowed halls of power, they debated strategies and contingencies, seeking a path forward in the face of overwhelming odds. But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a glimmer of hope emerged, a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. For across the galaxy, allies old and new rallied to humanity's aid, their ships of war converging on Earth's solar system like a gathering storm. Among them stood the fleets of the Galactic Alliance, their vessels gleaming with the promise of salvation. From the mighty dreadnoughts of the Zoranthian Armada to the sleek frigates of the Serenian Flotilla, they came, united in their determination to stand against the forces of darkness. But even as they prepared for battle, whispers of dissent echoed through the ranks. Some questioned the wisdom of confronting such a formidable foe head-on, while others harbored doubts about the true intentions of their erstwhile allies. In the midst of the uncertainty, Admiral Thalrock of the Zoranthian fleet emerged as a voice of reason and resolve. With decades of experience leading his people's forces into battle, he knew the risks they faced better than most. "Gather your strength, my friends," he proclaimed, his voice carrying across the bridge of his flagship. "For though the road ahead may be fraught with peril, we do not face this enemy alone. Together, united as one, we shall overcome." And so, with hearts full of courage and determination, the combined forces of humanity and the Galactic Alliance set forth to confront the gathering storm. Across the void of space, they raced towards their destiny, ready to face whatever trials awaited them in the depths of the cosmos. The gathering storm. As Ambassador Vex's spacecraft hovered silently in Earth's skies, representatives from nations across the globe gathered aboard, their minds abuzz with questions and uncertainty. Seated around a circular table in the ship's sleek interior, they awaited the arrival of the ambassador, their eyes drawn to the panoramic views of the planet below. Moments later, Ambassador Vex entered the chamber, his presence commanding respect and attention. With a nod of greeting, he took his place at the head of the table, his gaze sweeping over the diverse assembly of humans before him. "Welcome, esteemed leaders of Earth," Ambassador Vex began, his voice resonating with warmth and sincerity. "I am grateful for this opportunity to engage in dialogue and cooperation as we face the challenges that lie ahead." The discussions that followed were wide-ranging and intense, covering topics as varied as global conflict resolution, environmental sustainability, and technological advancement. As the hours passed, barriers of distrust began to crumble, replaced by a shared sense of purpose and determination. Yet, amidst the spirit of cooperation, a shadow loomed on the horizon, a threat that transcended national borders and ideological divides. Reports began to filter in of escalating tensions in regions plagued by long-standing conflicts, as well as whispers of a new arms race fueled by fear and uncertainty. "It is clear that the path to peace will not be easy," Ambassador Vex remarked, his expression grave as he addressed the gathered leaders. "But together we have the power to overcome even the greatest of challenges. We must rise above our differences and work towards a future where all of humanity can thrive." With renewed resolve, the leaders pledged their commitment to the cause of peace and cooperation, vowing to set aside their differences in the face of a common threat. Plans were set in motion for joint initiatives aimed at fostering understanding and reconciliation, while measures were taken to address the root causes of conflict and instability. As the meeting drew to a close, and the leaders prepared to return to their respective nations, a sense of cautious optimism pervaded the chamber. The journey ahead would be fraught with obstacles and uncertainties, but with unity and determination, humanity stood poised to carve out a brighter future for generations to come. A new dawn. With the darkness vanquished and the galaxy bathed in the light of a new dawn, the Allied fleets returned to Earth as heroes, their triumph celebrated by all who had witnessed their valiant struggle. In cities and towns across the planet, people rejoiced, their hearts filled with hope for the future. On the steps of the Galactic Council, representatives from worlds near and far gathered to pay tribute to those who had fought and fallen in the battle against the forces of darkness. Amidst the sea of faces, Admiral Thalrock stood at the forefront, his presence a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Allied forces. "Today we stand united as one," he proclaimed, his voice ringing out with pride and reverence. "For though our journey has been fraught with peril, we have emerged victorious, our resolve unbroken by the trials we have faced." As the cheers of the crowd echoed through the air, a sense of optimism permeated the gathering, a belief that with courage and determination, anything was possible. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy stood on the brink of a new era of peace and prosperity. But even as they celebrated their hard-won victory, the leaders of Earth and the Galactic Alliance knew that their work was far from over. The scars of the conflict would take time to heal, and the challenges that lay ahead would test their resolve like never before. Yet they faced the future with hope in their hearts, knowing that as long as they stood united, they could overcome any obstacle that stood in their way. For in the end, it was not the strength of their weapons or the size of their fleets that had brought them victory. It was their unwavering commitment to peace, unity, and the common good. And so, as the sun set on the horizon, casting a golden glow over the gathered throng, humanity and its allies looked to the stars with a sense of awe and wonder. For though the journey ahead would be long and arduous, they knew that as long as they stood together, they would always find their way home. The final stand. As the Allied fleets pressed forward, their resolve unyielding, they found themselves facing the culmination of their struggle. A massive fortress of darkness, its twisted spires reaching towards the stars like the claws of some monstrous beast. At its heart, the source of the malevolent energy that had plagued the galaxy for centuries pulsed with an unholy light, beckoning the Allied forces to their final confrontation. With Admiral Thalrock at the forefront, the combined fleets launched a daring assault on the fortress, their ships weaving through a deadly gauntlet of enemy fire. The darkness seemed to close in around them, suffocating and oppressive, but they pressed on undeterred. On the bridge of his flagship, Admiral Thalrock issued commands with the precision of a master tactician, coordinating the efforts of the Allied forces with ruthless efficiency. Every maneuver, every volley of fire brought them one step closer to victory, or oblivion. But even as they fought, the forces of darkness rallied to defend their fortress, unleashing torrents of energy and wave after wave of nightmarish creatures. The battle raged on, each side locked in a desperate struggle for supremacy. Yet amidst the chaos and destruction, a ray of hope pierced the darkness. High above the battlefield, a crack appeared in the fortress's defenses, a vulnerability that could be exploited to deliver the killing blow. With a steely resolve, Admiral Thalrock rallied his forces for one final push. With their remaining strength, they launched a daring assault on the fortress's weakened defenses, pouring all of their firepower into the breach. And then, in a blinding flash of light, the fortress shattered, its dark energies consumed in a cataclysmic explosion that echoed through the void. The forces of darkness were vanquished, their reign of terror brought to an end by the valor and sacrifice of those who had dared to stand against them. As the debris of the fortress drifted through space, the Allied fleets regrouped, their spirits buoyed by their hard-won victory. For though the scars of battle would linger, the galaxy was once again safe from the encroaching darkness. And amidst the wreckage, Admiral Thalrock and his fellow warriors stood tall, their faces turned towards the stars with a sense of hope and determination. For though the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, they knew that as long as they stood united, they would always emerge victorious in the end. Clash of Titans. As the combined fleets of humanity and the Galactic Alliance ventured deeper into the void, the tension aboard their ships was palpable. Every soul on board knew that they were hurtling towards a confrontation that would determine the fate of the galaxy. Amidst the sea of stars, they soon encountered the vanguard of the dark forces, an armada of nightmarish vessels bristling with weaponry and oozing with malevolence. The sight sent shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned veterans, but Admiral Thalrock remained resolute. "Steady, everyone," he commanded, his voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins. "We knew this day would come, and now it is upon us. Prepare for battle." With a sense of grim determination, the Allied fleets moved to engage the enemy, weapons primed and shields raised. Across the void, beams of energy lanced out from both sides, illuminating the darkness with their fiery glow. The battle that ensued was unlike any other in the annals of galactic history, a clash of titans that reverberated across the cosmos. Ships of every size and shape danced through the void, locked in a deadly ballet of destruction. Yet for every vessel lost, two more seemed to take its place, as the dark forces unleashed their full fury upon their adversaries. Wave after wave of enemy fighters swarmed the Allied ships, testing their resolve to the breaking point. But amidst the chaos and carnage, a glimmer of hope remained. For every blow they suffered, the Allied fleets struck back with righteous fury, their determination unyielding in the face of overwhelming odds. As the battle raged on, Admiral Thalrock and his fellow commanders fought tooth and nail to turn the tide of battle in their favor. They gambled, they improvised, and they sacrificed, all in the name of victory. And then, in a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, the tides of battle turned. With a coordinated assault, the Allied fleets punched through the enemy lines, carving a path towards the heart of darkness itself. With a triumphant roar, they surged forward, their weapons blazing and their spirits unbroken. For they knew that the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and they would not rest until the forces of evil were vanquished once and for all.